In the dead of night, a dark shadow raids the heart of a den to steal a hyena pup. It is a suicidal act that breaks every law of nature. What drove this highly intelligent creature into such an extreme fury? And how horrific will the price be for this ruthless declaration of war? Stolen poop. A baboon's audacious raid on a hyena clan. To understand the roots of this madness, we must step back and look at the bigger picture of this unforgiving battlefield. The broken basin. A deadly caldera in the heart of the scorching savanna is suffering a prolonged dry season that is squeezing out the last drops of life. As a single strip of damp mud becomes the only remaining water source, it turns into an ecological trap, forcing rival species into close quarters. Here, two of nature's most advanced and opposing biological weapons are forced to share a cramped survival space. The first faction, holding out resiliently on the high stone terraces, is the Kivuli troop. The most intelligent baboon troop on the savanna. Led by an alpha named Rogan. These primates are formidable, not just for their long fangs, which rival those of a tiger cub, and a 500 pounds per square inches bite force, but for their terrifying intellect and highly adaptable guerrilla warfare tactics. Yet, right beneath their stone fortress lies the domain of the second faction, the Meno Mbovu clan. This brutal clan of spotted hyenas is ruled by the matriarch, Vesha. They are killing machines equipped with resilient skin, extraordinary endurance, and steel jaws packing a bone-crushing 1,100 pounds per square inches. Enough to pulverize the femurs of the largest prey. A clash between intellect and speed on one side, and raw, stubborn power on the other was always destiny. But the spark of hatred was officially ignited 3 days ago. when the ruthless Hyena clan ambushed and tore apart a baboon from the Kivuli troop at the edge of the thorn bushes. That trauma burned straight into Rogan's brain, forcing the alpha to make a cold, calculating decision. Today's hyena pups are tomorrow's steel-jawed executioners. The only way to protect his own offspring was to strike first. That ruthless philosophy pushed the Basin's tension to the breaking point, setting the stage for tonight, when a young warrior from the Kivuli troop decided to shatter all ecological boundaries, launching a solo raid into the den to eliminate the enemy's future generation. As the thick darkness swallows the broken basin, the line of survival becomes its most fragile and dangerous. From the high stone terraces, a lone figure suddenly separates from the troop, silently casting a shadow over enemy territory. But the one closing in on the den right now isn't the alpha, Rogan. It is Kiro, a younger baboon warrior with lightning-fast reflexes and a reckless streak unmatched in the Kivuli troop. Kiro isn't hunting, nor is he searching for food to fill an empty stomach. In this harsh, dry season, he is embarking on a solo suicide mission that no one in the Kivuli troop has ever dared to risk. Raiding the absolute heart of the Meno Mbovu stronghold. His sharp night vision and primate agility allow Kiro to move through the rock formations as silently as a ghost. The target locked in his fiery gaze is crystal clear. Not the adult predators, but the helpless hyena pups on the future threat of the Basin. The distance shrinks. 5 meters, 3 meters. Kiro drops his center of gravity, his forelimbs tensing as he prepares to explode into a fateful pounce. He aims straight for the mouth of the den, where the defenseless pups lie. With one precise strike of his sharp fangs, Kiro intends to wipe out the enemy's future. The ambush explodes in an instant. Kiro launches forward like an arrow slicing through the night. But the wilderness is never an easy stage for a lone operator. The moment Kiro's hands reach the edge of the den, a pair of bloodshot, amber eyes snap open in the dark. Vesha, the matriarch with a cold, calculating brain, has awakened before the plan can even unfold. A short, dry, piercing cackle rips through the night. It is the supreme command of the den's ruler. There is no intimidating roar, nor any warning signal. From the pitch-black corners of the cave, 4 hunched, heavily muscled silhouettes instantly spring into action like steel coils. The defensive response of the Meno Mbovu clan is horrifyingly precise, ruthless, and organized. The hyena's flanking tactics immediately close the gap, turning the den entrance into a massive, inescapable vice. Kiro is completely swallowed by a ring of jaws, packing 1,000. £100 per square inches of bone-crushing force. The guerrilla speed of the young warrior is utterly useless against the raw power and ruthless calculations of the collective Dark Lords. The flash war ends in the suffocating silence of the savanna. Kiro is brought down right at the threshold of the den, his blood soaking into the cracked earth of the broken basin. The greatest mistake of the young Kivuli warrior wasn't that he failed beneath the fangs of the Meno Mbovu clan. It was that his reckless action officially snapped the final thread of tolerance, shattering an irreparable ecological boundary between the two dominant species. Following that bloody midnight raid, the broken basin sinks into an eerie, terrifying calm. Both factions understand that once blood is spilled at the gateway of the den, the old order of the Basin has completely collapsed. There will be no more accidental encounters, and no more invisible safe zones between the two ruling clans. From the valley floor, the matriarch Vesha begins tightening her grip on the Meno Mbovu clan's discipline. The hyena's erratic night hunting is replaced by highly organized, tightly packed formations. There are no more deep, careless sleeps out on the savanna, and no more structural vulnerabilities around the nursery den. The scent of Kiro's blood serves as a ruthless reminder to the clan. The primates above are no longer just noisy defenders. High on the stone terraces, the Alpha Rogan has also completely shifted tactics. The gaze of the leader with the lethal fangs never leaves his rival's movements for a single second. Every head turn and every wide stride of the hyenas below is logged and tracked closely by the Kivuli sentinels from above. The trauma of losing a young warrior hasn't broken the troop's spirit. Instead, it has forged a thick atmosphere of resentment, reaching even the females clutching their infants tightly. In the broken basin, the physical distance between the two species no longer represents a typical territorial boundary. It has transformed into a high-tension tightrope twisted from paranoia and blood feuds. Both the Kivuli troop and the Meno Mbovu clan dug their feet into the cracked earth, holding their breath. That tightrope is being pulled taut by every hour of the brutal dry season. And both know full well, if either side makes one wrong move, the entire basin will explode into a war of annihilation. The tension pulled taut over the past weeks finally snaps as the merciless heat of the dry season drives both factions into a corner. Dropping water levels turn the last strip of damp mud into an ecological trap where sharing is impossible. For the Meno Mbovu clan, dehydration has scorched away all patience, forcing them to infiltrate the enemy's stronghold to fight for life. From the high stone ledge, Rogan, the alpha with the lethal fangs, instantly catches the scent of danger carrying upwind. With a massive nursery of infants behind him, the hyena's intrusion represents an existential threat. Rogan doesn't wait for the enemy to close in. He unleashes a valley-shattering roar, triggering a total meltdown. The earth trembles as both factions collide head-on. Rogan is the first to drop from the high cliffs. His muscles tensed, his amber eyes burning with pure rage. No boundaries, no scouting, the war explodes with the raw, brutal collisions of nature. The lightning-fast reflexes and razor-sharp fangs of the Baboon troop plunge straight into the thick leather armor and bone-crushing jaws of the hyena clan. Baboons screech maniacally, using their powerful forelimbs to slam and tear, targeting the muzzle and flanks of their opponents. Meanwhile, the hyenas rely on their terrifying 1,100 pounds per square inches bite force. An extraordinary endurance to push through, plunging like living wedges to crush any isolated individual. The roars of the long-fanged primates blend with the piercing cackles of the scavengers, tearing through the scorching air and dragging everyone into an unforgiving vortex of red dust. In the survival code of the broken Basin, the boundary between victory and death is often measured by a single, misplaced step. Pure ferocity and their tactical guerrilla advantage allowed the Kivuli troop to temporarily push back the steel jaws of the Meno Mbovu clan. However, bloodlust and frantic overconfidence blinded the Baboon warriors. Obsessed with pursuing the retreating, hunched silhouettes, they failed to realize they had just made a fatal mistake. crossing the threshold of their secure stone fortress and venturing into the dark sanctuary of the dense canopy. This was no longer a stage for speed or collective power. This was a transition zone of light and shadow, where all conventional laws of the savanna were officially nullified. Three male baboons froze amidst the tall reeds and thorn bushes. Their ears tensed as a delayed instinct alerted them to the unusual silence of the realm. The invisible safety zone had vanished. Within that heavy silence, a dangerous scent suddenly hit their nostrils. It wasn't the foul stench of hyenas, but the scent of death itself. And then, the script was ripped to shreds in a single second. A 200-pound muscular frame swathed in velvet exploded from the brush like a dark thunderclap. The lunge sliced through the air. No sound, no warning. It was an adult leopard. A solitary aristocrat of the night who had been lying in wait for hours, biding his time for this exact vulnerability. Instead of a head-on confrontation, the leopard executed a flawless ambush, pinning his heavy claws into the lead baboon's back and delivering a lethal neck bite. It happened so fast that the two accompanying baboons didn't even have time to sound an alarm call. In the broken basin, the hunter had instantly become the prey, and a true executioner of the savanna had emerged to restore order through the ultimate cruelty of the shadows. As darkness once again blankets the broken basin, the savanna returns to its natural silence. As if the bloody battles of the day had never occurred. Today's deathmatch ended with no true victor. Only costly survival lessons written in the blood of both dominant factions, the baboons and the hyenas. One representing tactical intellect, the other a symbol of steel power and raw endurance, had both paid a devastating price for crossing nature's forbidden threshold. On this unforgiving savanna, the arrogance of kings and the cunning of primates both have limits before the ruthless wheel of survival. Sometimes, the strongest is not the one who wins every battle, but the one who knows when to stop and respects the unyielding laws of nature. The broken basin will continue to endure the dry season, but the flow of life and death in this realm will always be a proud, uncompromising dance of survival.
Wild hell. A terrifying theft. A crazy chase. A life or death meal. This is survival instinct, never seen before. Honey badger challenges wild dogs. Explosive revenge. Dawn breaks over the vast African savanna, where golden sunlight begins to spread evenly across the ground, awakening every blade of grass still wet with night dew. The fresh, cool air covers the area, promising a new day full of energy but no less harsh. Next to their den, a pack of African wild dogs is deep in sleep. This is a large family, with about 15 members, each with a unique spotted coat, like an abstract painting of nature. The adult dogs lie down, their bodies still tired after a successful night of hunting. Their steady breathing fills the surrounding space, creating a rare peace. In the cave, there were 5 chubby puppies, sleeping soundly. They were the hope of the pack, the future inheriting the strength and wisdom of their ancestors. Their soft moans in sleep added to the serenity of the scene. The leader of the pack was an old and wise female named Zola. Her fur had a few silver strands around her muzzle, but her eyes still shone with alertness and alertness. Even in the deepest sleep, Zola's instincts were always active. She lay slightly tilted towards the cave entrance, her ears occasionally twitching at the slightest noise from outside. Zola knew that in this wild world, peace was only a temporary state, a fragile shell that could be torn apart at any moment. From afar, a small, short but defiant black figure was approaching. It was a honey badger, a creature renowned throughout the savanna for its incredible daring, bravery, and fearless ability to confront anything from king cobras to lions. The honey badger moved lightly, its quick steps making no sound. The scent of colostrum and the warmth of the puppies guided it. The honey badger glided quickly to the corner of the cave, where 5 puppies lay close together. With a lightning-fast grab, it grabbed the smallest puppy, who was whimpering weakly. The puppy's heartbreaking, pained cry rang out, cutting through the silence of dawn like a sharp knife. Zola jumped up at once, his eyes blazing with anger. The pack of wild dogs woke up, their angry growls echoing throughout the cave. The peace had vanished, replaced by chaos and fear. The honey badger, with the puppy in his mouth, rushed out of the cave. He knew he had made a big mistake, but his opportunistic instincts and stubbornness would not allow him to give up. Zola led the way, the pack of wild dogs following at a terrifying speed. They dashed through the dry thorn bushes, across the endless yellow grass. Their panting and pounding footsteps sounded like war drums, creating a wild symphony of anger, determination, and extreme fear. The honey badger, despite his small size, was extremely agile and stubborn. He ran through the rough crevices of the rocks, through the dense undergrowth, trying to shake off the enemy chasing him. His short tail wagged defiantly, and sometimes he turned his head and growled, his fur bristling as if to declare, "I will not give up easily." Reeling time. Every step it took exuded recklessness and bravery, making the pack of wild dogs even more furious. The chase continued. The pack of wild dogs gradually closed the distance. Their tenacity was undeniable. The pack of wild dogs caught up, and they surrounded the honey badger. With a bold bold decision, the honey badger put the puppy on the ground, facing the pack of wild dogs that were growling fiercely, baring their sharp fangs. The fight broke out. The honey badger raised all of its fur, puffed up its body to look more fearsome, and let out threatening growls. Despite being outnumbered, it did not flinch. It pounced on the nearest wild dog, biting without hesitation, showing its indomitability and incredible strength hidden in its small body. It attacked extremely fast, dodging the wild dog's bites, trying to bite their legs or necks. Each of its attacks contained deadly danger. Zola and the other wild dogs surrounded, trying to overwhelm the honey badger with numbers and coordination. They did not attack recklessly, but moved flexibly, trying to corner their opponents, patiently waiting for an opening. Roars, angry barks, and powerful bites were continuously launched. Each missed bite made them more furious. The anger of a provoked pack reached its peak. The smell of blood and dirt mixed in the air, creating a chaotic and brutal scene. In a moment when the honey badger was distracted by trying to bite another wild dog, Zola saw an opportunity. With incredible speed and agility, she rushed forward. A powerful, accurate bite to the back of the neck made the honey badger stagger. The puppy lay on the ground, its body trembling, making a weak cry, attracting Zola's attention. The instinct to protect its cub rose strongly. Zola used his body to shield the puppy, while continuing to growl at the honey badger, his fiery eyes never leaving his opponent. The honey badger realized that he could not win against the pack of wild dogs that were enraged and led by an angry mother. With a final helpless growl, he turned around and disappeared into the dense bushes, leaving the puppy safely rescued. The pack of wild dogs growled for a while longer to confirm their victory and completely drive away the enemy. Zola gently carried the puppy back, placed it on the ground and licked it, comforting it. The puppy was trembling, but safe in its mother's arms. The pack of wild dogs gathered around, soft whines ringing out, expressing their immense joy at the puppy's return. The emotional and physical wounds were gradually healed. The lesson of vigilance and the cruelty of the wild world had been painfully learned, but also meaningful. After the stressful event, another urgent need arose. The empty stomachs of the puppies and the energy expended in the chase demanded a full meal. Zola, the leader of the pack, was well aware of this. Her sharp eyes scanned the vast plains, where the golden grasses were like a sea of rice under the setting sun. The pack gathered, their keen noses sniffing the scent of the earth, the wind, and the scent of potential prey. A low howl from Zola, not a warning, but a rallying call, a call to a new hunt. The pack began to move, slowly, gracefully, like a mottled stream on the steppe. They were not in a hurry, but patient, waiting for the right moment. In the distance, a herd of impala appeared. They were grazing leisurely, occasionally raising their heads in alertness, their small heads with curved horns swiveling left and right. This was the ideal prey, large enough to feed the herd, but also extremely agile, requiring great coordination. Zola watched the herd carefully. She did not choose the strongest male, nor did she choose a female with a calf. Her keen eyes spotted a female that seemed a little lame, or a calf that was old enough to run but still inexperienced. That was the target. The pack of wild dogs began to deploy their famous hunting tactics, encircling and pressing. Zola did not need to give verbal commands. Each wild dog knew its place and task through years of experience and pack instinct. A group of 3 or 4 of the strongest wild dogs, led by Zola, started from the rear of the herd, applying the main pressure, forcing them to move forward. Two other dogs, agile and cunning, circled around on either side, keeping their distance but ready to cut off the prey's escape route. One or two of the remaining dogs would lie in wait ahead, at a predictable spot, ready to take the lead. The pack moved very quietly, using the terrain, the low bushes, and the tall grass to hide themselves. They kept absolutely silent, only their sharp, determined eyes communicating with each other. Each step they took made no sound, like ghosts gliding across the steppe. Once in a suitable position, Zola let out a low growl, then jumped out of his hiding place. The group pushed forward in unison, not aiming to attack immediately, but to create panic. The herd of antelopes, startled by the panic, galloped, their steps quick, trying to escape the predators. Their speed was legendary, reaching 90 kilometers per hour over short distances. However, wild dogs had another advantage: incredible endurance and the ability to maintain high speeds for long periods. They were not as fast as antelopes over short distances, but they would pursue relentlessly. When the antelopes panicked and scattered, the cutting groups on both sides immediately took action. They did not rush to attack, but instead ran parallel, forcing the stragglers back to the center of the herd, or herding the chosen prey away from the larger herd. Zola's target, the slightly weaker female antelope, had been separated from the herd. She ran for her life, panting, trying her best to escape the speckled ghosts that were following her. Her horns stood back in vain, but she was unable to fight back against the predator. Zola and two other wild dogs ran close behind, taking turns leading. When one began to tire, the other would accelerate ahead, maintaining constant pressure. They constantly changed the angle of attack, making it impossible for the antelope to predict where the next attack would come from. The panting of the wild dogs, the pounding of the antelope's hooves, the whistling of the wind in their ears created a song of life and death. The chase lasted for kilometers, passing over mounds and dry streams. The antelope's strength began to decline. Its speed slowed down significantly, its steps no longer as strong as before. When the antelope was exhausted, it began to run in small circles, trying to find a gap or a bush to hide in. but the wild dogs did not give it a chance. Zola realized that this was the decisive moment. She charged straight in, not giving the prey any time to react. The whole pack of wild dogs also rushed in to tear and tear. It wasn't a single attack, but a series of powerful, quick bites and tugs designed to knock the prey down and render it defenseless. With the strength and coordination of the pack, the antelope collapsed, its last breath escaping in a soft whimper. The hunt was over. For wild dogs, a meal was a communal event. They began to eat quickly and efficiently, yielding to each other, especially the mothers who would take some of the meat back to the waiting pups in the den. Zola ate carefully, not too full, then quickly carried some of the fresh meat back to the den. It was the mothers, the pack leaders' responsibility to ensure that future generations were also nourished. After a hearty meal, the wild dogs rested under the shade of a tree, the afternoon sun reddening their mottled fur. The fatigue of the long hunt gave way to a temporary feeling of satiety and safety. But the wildlife never stops. Despite facing countless dangers, the wild dogs are always united. They hunt together, protect each other, and raise the next generation together. The lessons from the honey badger incident and conflicts with other species have made them realize the importance of vigilance and protection for each other. The journey of the wild dogs is just a small part of the countless wonderful stories of nature. We have witnessed the recklessness of the honey badger, the wisdom of the wild dogs, and the resilience of the antelope. What impressed you most in this video? Comment below and share your thoughts. Which animal story would you like us to tell next? If you are eager to discover more mysteries and beauty of the wild world, don't hesitate to subscribe and click the bell to become part of our nature-loving community. Thanks for watching.